Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video I'm going to be sharing my updated puff puff recipe. I have an old video on this, but today I'm going to be sharing a more detailed and simpler way to get your puff puff perfect every time. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by combining all the ingredients in a large bowl. Here I've added all-purpose flour, milk, sugar, salt, nutmeg, and instant yeast. I'll add half the water and give this a good mix. And all the ingredients are going to be listed in the description box below. I'll also have the ingredients, measurements, and the written recipe on my blog kikifoodies.com, so please check that out. So I'm gonna mix this for about 5 minutes. Here I'm slapping the dough, which is kind of like kneading the soft dough, and I always do this step because it gives the puff puff a nice chewy texture. When the mixture is smooth, I'll go ahead and add the remaining water. And for this recipe, I'm using room temperature water because I'm using instant yeast. So make sure you check the yeast you have. If you're using dry yeast or active dry yeast, you would need to activate that first or proof it. And I'm going to show you how to do that at the end of the video. Next, I'm going to cover this and keep in a warm place. I usually like to keep it in a turned off microwave or oven, and I'll let this rise for about 40 minutes. And depending on your weather, that time is going to vary. If you're in a hotter environment, it will take 40 to 60 minutes, and if you're in a colder environment, it may take longer. So after 40 minutes, I've taken the dough out. So if this is your first time trying this, you want to just practice how to place it in the oil. So you're gonna squeeze the dough between your index and your thumb, making like a hole, and it doesn't have to be perfect the first time, but it's really easy to do. Before you begin frying, you can test the temperature of the oil by adding just one. It should take about 5 seconds for the dough to pop back up. If you count to 5 and the dough doesn't float back up, the oil is too cold, so you want to give it some more time to heat up. And if you add the dough and it turns brown almost immediately, it means the oil is too hot, so you want to reduce the temperature and let it cool down. So I'll go ahead and fry this up. Like I said, just squeeze the dough between your index finger and your thumb. It may be a bit tricky at first, but in no time you'll be used to it. And I'm going to be frying this at medium heat. So if your stove goes from, let's say, 1 to 10, you want to fry this at a 6 or 7. It should take about 5 to 7 minutes to cook, and like I said, if your puff puff is getting too brown too fast, it means the oil may be too hot. You want to turn the heat down so you don't have puff puff with raw dough at the middle. And you also don't want to overcrowd the pan so the temperature doesn't go too low. You can use a wok like I'm using, or you can use a small deep pan to fry to conserve oil. So you can use that and just fry in batches. So you want to fry this until it's golden brown like this. Now you want to take this out and transfer to a bowl lined with paper towel to get off the excess oil. If you have any further questions on this recipe, like I said, I'm going to have this on my blog kikifoodies.com, so please check that out. I'm going to also have frequently asked questions just to cover anything I may not have covered here. And here's what the puff puff looks like on the inside. I am always so happy at the outcome. So if you're using dry yeast or active dry yeast, you definitely want to activate or proof your yeast first just to make sure it's alive and active. And this part is very important because the yeast is what makes the dough rise. So you want to make sure the yeast is alive and active so you don't waste your other ingredients by adding non-active or dead yeast. So to do this, combine the yeast, warm water. The water should be slightly warm. Dip a clean finger in and make sure the water is kind of the same temperature as your finger, so it shouldn't burn your finger. If it's too hot, it's going to kill the yeast and you will need to do this process all over again. Here I added a little bit of sugar. The yeast is going to feed off the sugar and it's going to help it activate faster. So just leave this to rest for about 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes it's going to look like this, very bubbly at the top. So when you see this, you know your yeast is active and very much alive and good to use. Thank you for watching my video.